I have had enough of a long-standing annoying bug on YouTube that I am sure you've all encountered as well, and after I did some testing, it's actually way worse than I thought. You may have noticed that pretty often, YouTube's thumbnail overlay that shows the progress of how far you've watched into a video is just wrong. And oftentimes it'll show a video as 100% completed when you either haven't even barely started the video or maybe you're only halfway through. Like this example, I posted on Twitter about it to Team YouTube, showing this video where I was only halfway through, but in my watch later playlist, it shows as completed. And this makes it really difficult to look through the list and see which ones I need to actually finish versus which ones I actually legitimately finished and can remove from the playlist, because I may have done autoplay. But in any case, the important thing to realize is that even though it shows the incorrect time on the thumbnail, if you actually click into the video, it ends up going to the correct continuation point. So it knows exactly where you finished or need to continue watching from. It's simply not showing it correctly on the thumbnail. But there actually seems to be basically 3 different modes of this bug, or maybe it's 3 separate bugs entirely, all related. The first mode of this bug is basically temporary, where randomly 1 or more videos in a playlist will show as being 100% completed when it's not. It's only partly completed. And usually this can be fixed by simply refreshing the playlist, but not always. I'll get to that. The second mode of this bug is more permanent, and this happens if you start watching a video and immediately click off or stop watching, and in that case, it will always show as being 100% completed until you go and watch it later and actually get some watch time in there. And this is annoying because sometimes I may go and try to click to add to watch later, but I'll accidentally click to watch it. And then when I do add it to watch later, it basically shows as being already watched. There's no way to actually distinguish it from videos you legitimately watched till the end versus ones you didn't even start yet. And like I said, for these, it'll stay like that. Even refreshing will not remove the 100% progress. You have to actually click in and watch it a little bit, and then it'll reset and show a progress. And for both of those two, it seems to happen on all platforms. I noticed it the most on iOS, but after some testing, I saw it happen also on desktop as well. But the third mode is possibly the most bizarre and probably the most annoying. I've only noticed this on iOS, but watch what happens if I go to my watch later playlist and I have some videos that I only really did barely just start, but it does show progress. It's not stuck at 100%. But watch if I scroll down and then scroll back up, and hold on, it literally changed the progress shown. I didn't even refresh or anything. It literally just changed because I scrolled. And this bug is very consistent for me, at least. And oftentimes I'll scroll and notice that multiple videos, ones that didn't have incorrect timing before, once I scroll back to it, there will be more than one that are messed up. Sometimes it will change more than once. If I scroll down, scroll back up, it'll be changed again without refreshing between them. And for this one, it's weird because it's not always just 100% as wrong. It's like the entirely wrong time completely. It'll show as being halfway done when it's not that at all. So I don't even know how that is happening. And for this one, refreshing doesn't actually fix it because, yeah, it'll fix it for the ones at the top, but you have to scroll to get to ones down at the bottom. And by the time you get down lower, they're already wrong. So I have no idea what is going on with that. Here's more examples of weirdness. You can see when I switch between playlists, different playlists are showing it as having different progress when I opened it. So it's not, again, just jumping to 100% as the wrong number. It could be any random value. Also, for this one, as I'm literally scrolling through the playlist, right before my eyes, you can see it jump and change the percentage. Like, I don't even know what is going on with that. This happened multiple times. Here's an example of this top video changing its percentage multiple times as I scroll. Like, after I refresh, it starts out correct. And progressively, each time I look at it, it thinks it's longer and longer into the video, eventually just showing 100%. I did some digging myself to find out maybe if this was a client-side bug or a server-side bug. So on desktop, I looked at some of the API requests that YouTube uses behind the scenes with Chrome DevTools, and I saw that in the playlist API response, it returns info about each video in a playlist, and as part of that, each of those videos has properties, one called watch endpoint, and in there, sometimes there is a start time seconds property, and also elsewhere, there's another one called thumbnail overlay resume playback renderer, which has a percent duration watched property, which is the percentage that actually does show on the thumbnail overlay. And then also in here, you'll notice that there is sometimes this watched property, which is basically whether or not you started the video. And all of this is done server side. And what I found was, for some reason, sometimes a video that you did start does not return this start times second property, but it still shows the watched thing as well as the percentage watched overlay value. And what I noticed was, if a video is something you did actually start and it shows watched, but it's missing that start time second property, then it always shows the duration watched percentage as 100. It seems to default to that on the server side. So obviously that is something YouTube is gonna have to figure out on their side, why sometimes it just is not able to get the watch duration, where if you click on the video, it always can. But for some reason, when it's getting the playlist info or probably the browse info, it doesn't sometimes, and that causes it to just default to showing as fully completed, which obviously is not always true. And apparently this is actually a pretty widespread issue. On Twitter, a lot of people were always saying that this happened. I am consistently able to get it to reproduce if I do that thing where I watch a video and immediately click off. But again, sometimes it does that even when I don't do that. It'll show it for a half-watched video, which obviously that was not the problem then. And some people theorized, oh, well, it's because you're using an ad blocker, it's blocking the telemetry. No, that's not true, because again, like I said, it always knows where you were if you actually click into the video. It's only for the thumbnail overlay that's wrong. And also, like you saw, this happens on the official iOS app, and it happens when I even scroll. That one version of the bug, just scrolling does it. That obviously is a UI bug of some kind. And further, I tested it while connected to cellular, not even my local network, so I know it was not any kind of DNS or network level filtering that I could be having. So 100% it is a server-side bug, at least in some cases, and other times a UI bug on the iOS thing. But in any case, it's a YouTube problem, and if anyone from YouTube is watching, please fix this, because this legitimately probably does harm not just the user experience, if I am not sure which videos I've actually finished or not, but also watch time for creators. If people mean to continue watching and finishing a video they haven't finished, and they think that they finished watching it, they're not going to watch the rest of it ever. Another time this is often a problem, like this person said, is if you're watching a playlist and it auto-plays to the next one, but you don't want to watch another video, so you pause it and close out, then that's going to show that next video as being fully played even if you didn't watch it at all. So I would think this is a pretty priority bug, and I know this has been around for a long time. This has basically happened as long as I can remember, and I really don't know why it took this long to actually talk about it. But I'd be curious if you guys experienced this as well and how it affects you. So we could talk about that all down in the comments. And also, if you notice any other annoying bugs with YouTube, you can let me know down there and I'll take a look at them too, possibly. If you want to keep watching, next up, here's a video I made a while ago talking about hidden YouTube secrets and Easter eggs. I think you'll like that. It's pretty cool. I'll put that link right there you can click on. And of course, if you enjoyed the video and you want YouTube to fix this bug, please give it a thumbs up. It especially helps out these days in the age of AI slop with the algorithm. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in that next video.